Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Welcome to the party. This will be on circles and perimeter and area. You've got your formulas there. Pretty straightforward. 2 pi r, where r is the radius, or pi d, d being the diameter. Area, of course, r still radius, but it's pi r squared, because we're talking about area again, always going to be squared measurement units. So, perimeter, 2 times pi times r in this case. You just write it like that. We really just multiply the numbers together, which gets us to, in this case, 6 pi centimeters. And we can use a calculator to type that in, and I'll just go back to a calculator page. So what did I say? 6 pi. If it doesn't give you the exact the decimal value, you press Control Enter. And there we go. So let's do it to 2 decimal places, 18.85. So that's 18.85 centimeters. I won't do that for all of these. You can practice that yourselves. Of course, writing in the measurement units is really important as well. So same thing here for area, pi 3 squared. 3 squared is 9, so we can write that as 9 pi. And going back to our calculator, just for a bit more practice. And Control Enter. 28.27. Centimeters squared. This is called the exact value, 9 pi. It's a perfectly acceptable answer. So you can leave it as 9 pi. And if it says to write it as decimals to whatever number of places, that's where you'd change it to decimals. Let's have a go at another one here, pretty straightforward. 2 times pi times the radius of 4, which is 8 pi. We're just multiplying those numbers. Won't write that out as a decimal. Pi 4 squared. 4 squared is 16, so that's just 16 pi. We don't have units in this one, so that's all we can do. Let's go up to this top right hand one here. Just need to be careful. We can either write this as 2 pi 4, or we can just write it as pi 8, and you can see in both cases that just simplifies to 8 pi. Area, we do need to write this as pi 4 squared, which gets us to 16 pi, same as just before. Same thing here. Again, we can write it as pi d, which is pi 15 in this case. Or we of course write that as 15 pi. This one's a little bit trickier. This is pi 15 over 2 squared. This is going to get a little bit confusing. So that is the same as pi times it's 15 squared. So we could write this as 2 to 5 over 4 pi. Of course, you could find that as a decimal as well. Again, no units assigned, so we can just leave it as that answer. Slightly bigger number here, 2 pi 30, 60 pi. Oops, not 2 pi for area. And that is going to be 900 pi centimeters squared, and centimeters up here. It's pretty straightforward. Just remember these formulas. We'll hopefully give them to you for the test, but you really need to memorize those as you go through your math studies.